In order to work on cars, you gotta have tools. But too many people get it in their head that they gotta have the best tools possible as soon as possible. I mean, the last thing you wanna do when you start as a lube tech is buy a $3,000 Snap-on box. But there's so many tools out there that you gotta use every single day. The best thing you can do is keep it simple and only buy what you need when you're first starting out and expand from there. Let me show you all about it. So this is my cheap roll cart, and every tool in here is what I use to fix everything on the channel. Look at these two wrenches right here. Can you even tell the difference in them? They're the same size, but one is way more expensive than the other. And the coolest thing about these wrenches is they cost about the same price to me because I bought them in an old tool lot from an old guy that wasn't using his tools anymore. And honestly, I just got lucky that the guy that had that old tool lot bought a lot of Snap-on tools. But lately, I've been replacing them with these Amazon tools. And they're not really Amazon tools, they're just sold on Amazon. But this is a brand called Tecton, and they make a lot of different stuff. And the thing I like about them the most is they come with full socket kits. I mean, 6mm all the way to 24mm, and they don't skip one size. I haven't seen one company do that. They also do the same thing with Torx head bits and hex head bits. This set right here has metric Torx head, metric hex head, and standard hex head. And I got a few missing because we've been doing some work. Now there are some tools that you need to buy from the expensive brands. This is a 3/8 Snap-on torque wrench. And when you're torquing down transmission bolts, you want to make sure they're exactly right. You don't want to make sure they're too loose or too tight and you break them off. And that's why you need something that's really precise, like a Snap-on torque wrench. But even this, I bought from the old tool lot and I got pretty cheap because of it. But the last thing you want is a customer coming back in your shop because you left a pan bolt loose on a transmission and they got to ride back with a tow truck driver. Make sure your bolts are tight and make sure you get that click at the end. And you got to have electric tools nowadays. I mean, everything's going electric, from the cars to the tools. And honestly, Snap-on doesn't really have the best electric tools. And the reason I say that is because their battery platform isn't that great. This is Snap-on's 14-volt battery, and they go bad all the time. And they don't have lifetime warranties on them like all their other tools. And they cost like $120 a piece. They're not cheap. You can't really buy them from anywhere else, but you can buy the internals off of eBay or Amazon if you know how to solder them back in right. But it's a little dangerous because they're lithium cells. But these Snap-on batteries are the reason I started buying Milwaukee tools, because they got better batteries. I mean, these M18s, you could practically put them on anything. They even got jump boxes for them. Heck, my daughter's little power wheel is powered by one of these things. And the drills themselves aren't that expensive. And they come with a 5-year tool warranty, and the battery comes with a 3-year warranty, if you can get Milwaukee on the phone. But still, it's a better price, it's a better tool, and it's a better battery platform. And you don't have to buy Milwaukee. I mean, DeWalt has a pretty good battery platform as well. But the most important thing to look for when you're looking for an electric tool brand is a good battery platform that has good chargers, good batteries at a good price that power up a lot of their tools. The last thing you want is a bunch of tools sitting around because they don't have any good batteries left. And that happens a lot, especially if you buy cheap electric tools with bad battery platforms. Now, sometimes I've had to spend the money on the tools that I really needed, like these Mako double-sided wrenches. There was another tech in our shop that had these wrenches and I kept borrowing it from them. And I have a rule, if I have to borrow a tool more than 3 times, I need to buy it. So I went ahead and spent the money on these wrenches. But now there's cheaper versions out. But these wrenches are still really nice. They're closed in on one side and they're flex head ratchet on the other side. And both sides have the same size. And these work for various things, but the thing I like to do with them is break it loose with the closed in and then ratchet it the rest of the way out with the flex head ratchet in. And Tecton has a version of this they just came out with. I'll be buying those soon, just to compare them to these. Speaking of Tecton though, we have their 1/2-inch socket set in here, which is another complete set. It goes all the way from 8mm all the way to 38mm. That's crazy, right? I mean, every size, no size missed, even a size 31, which looks completely brand new because I've never used it. But I may have to one day. You never know when you may see a size 31mm bolt. Now this is a tool that could save you a lot of money as a beginner mechanic. And it's actually a Mako version, but there's other cheaper versions. And what this is a wrench extender. Now, you've always heard of the old cheater bar, and tool companies don't like that. If they know you've been cheating by putting a bar on the end of your wrench, which will cause it to bend, they most likely won't warranty your tool. But if you use this thing right here, they can't say nothing, because that's what it's meant to do. It extends the leverage of the wrench, so let's say you got a rusty bolt that won't come loose. It adds about a good 6 to 8 inches of leverage, and we all know 6 to 8 inches is the sweet spot. So if you're not ready to buy the big old long wrenches yet, buy the cheap short ones and get you a wrench extender. It'll save you a few bucks and a little bit of aggravation, especially when you got a rusty bolt. So the next drawer I got down here is a 1/4 inch drawer. My favorite thing in here is, again, another Tecton set. And they're not a sponsor of this video. I've reached out to them, they haven't gotten back to me yet. So we'll see. But anyways, this is a nice set and it's really cheap. It's just an extended hex set. And you don't really need those as a beginner mechanic. Some of these small little wrenches, they're pretty helpful. This is a snap-on one, again, came from the tool lot. Now pliers, this is a necessity for everybody to have right here. These are nice plier organizers. And this drawer was a mess before, and now it's really clean. Now I do like snap-on pliers, but again, pliers are pliers. And when you're first starting out, you probably just want to buy the cheapest, most durable set you can find. There's plenty of them on Amazon and at Harbor Freight. And if you break them, they're cheap anyway. But you don't want to get into debt. That's the whole thing you're trying to avoid. And that's why you only buy the snap-on tools you absolutely need. Like this thing, this gripper here, it's a PWZ2. I don't even know what they call it. But I've used this thing for several things. And when you lock this thing down to grip onto something, it's hard to let go. They should call it the pit bull mouth because it locks up. Now moving on down, I got my electrical drawer, and if you're getting into electrical diagnostics, I do recommend getting a nice little pin breakout, but you can buy these on Amazon. You don't have to spend the money on Snap-on right off the bat. But this does help me out with a lot of electrical diagnostics, being able to go into certain connectors with pins, ohm out certain things, test voltage and different things like that. And whatever multimeter platform you buy, Snap-on or Klein or any of the other ones, you want to make sure you got a Cat 3 or above, and you want to make sure you got a nice pin breakout kit that comes with it. Makes life a whole lot easier. But not everybody likes to do electrical diagnostics. Some people just like to rip things apart. And that's why, you know, got the whole Sawzall down here. This is a Milwaukee M18, pretty decent. But one thing that you gotta buy if you're a mechanic, and it's gotta be rock solid, is an air hammer or just an electric hammer. Milwaukee's coming out with one soon. I'm gonna grab that thing. But this is the best air hammer I've found on the market. And it's actually made by Mac Tools. And really, I just watched other techs in the shop use their air hammers, and one tech had a Mac Tools one that everybody would go grab when their air hammer didn't work. So I figured, heck, I should probably buy that thing. This thing was like $800 brand new. It came with a bit set, but I use and abuse this thing all the time. This thing has broken so many ball joints loose and busted so many ball joint boots loose, can't even count them now. If you're gonna be breaking a lot of stuff, the last thing you wanna break is the thing you're breaking it with, your air hammer. So you gotta buy you a rock solid one, and this is the best one I've found, but I'm sure there's other ones on the market. We're gonna try out the electric Milwaukee one when it comes out because I got big expectations for it. And we'll pit it up against this thing too. So this is my US General roll cart, and I keep a lot of the tools I need in it because it moves around and I could go anywhere in the shop with it. And it's a cheap little piece. I mean, it's only like $500 or $600. And I bought it like that because, you know, I'm bringing it into a dirty shop and I can beat it up a little bit. Now, I also have other tools that are specialty tools, and that's what I have a tool chest for. Now, this thing does have wheels, but it doesn't move nowhere near as easy. And I keep all my specialty tools in this. But this still isn't that expensive. This is a $1,200 Husky box from Home Depot. Yeah, your favorite mechanic on the internet uses a Home Depot toolbox. And maybe it's just because I'm a YouTuber, I got a Husky, because it seems like every YouTuber uses Husky. But maybe that's just because they're good quality for a cheap price. I mean, look at this big old drawer here, and watch this. Can't even slam it if you wanted to. Got the soft closed drawers. And it's on every drawer here. So even when you're mad, your Husky still takes care of your tools. Now I got the metal top because I'm in a dirty shop and I didn't think the wood would last long with the things that I do. Probably wouldn't have. But this metal top has held up nicely and I'm really happy with this box. I love this box. I love the color of it. I love how it works, and it's functional. It opens, closes, and locks. And that's honestly all you need a toolbox to do. Now the specialty tools I keep in here, that's what you do got to spend the money on. Sometimes you need specialty things. And companies like Snap-on, Matco, and Mac make really good specialty tools that come with lifetime warranties. Like this bolt extractor set. Now these are just some turbo sockets. That's basically all they are. But if I break one of these, I go right on the Snap-on truck and they replace it for free. Pretty cool deal. Even when I didn't even buy it off the Snap-on truck. I bought it from a lot of tools. There's his initials right there, SCC. You'll see that on all my tools. RIP SCC. We're keeping his tools, they're carrying on the journey. And more importantly, they carry on the warranty. Now some of these specialty tools like a bolt grip puller set from Snap-on is just better when you buy it from the big brands. When you buy the nice sets like this, the cases will rot out around them. Kind of like an old Mercedes where the body will rot out around the good engine. Same deal with these specialty tools from Snap-on. Now, you can go crazy on the truck, but these are the things you need to look for to buy. Especially things that require a lot of tension because you don't want them to break. You want them to be good quality because if you break under a lot of tension, it could snap off and hit you in the face. So that's why you probably want to get Snap-on. Now I also got a Snap-on bolt restorer set, and that's because I break these things all the time. Now this thing's basically like half a tap and die set, but it just restores the threads. It doesn't cut them in. So if you get like a nut or a bolt that loses its thread pitch, you could throw one of these on it, zip it on down with an impact a couple of times, and then it's good to go. And even if you break them, you go on the truck and they get you a brand new one. And that's why I like to buy some of my stuff like this from Snap-on. But not everything, because you can run up a lot of debt on those trucks. So most of the time, I'm going on there for warranties. It's kind of a running joke amongst the tool guys. They're like, oh, here's warranty man coming up. What you got me to warranty? Because I'm hardly ever buying anything, and most of the time, I'm breaking stuff and it needs to be warranted. Now the best thing to do when you're first starting out as a junior mechanic, a young mechanic, or somebody that's just buying tools is stay cheap, stay simple, and stay dirty. As far as what's in the toolbox, you want to keep it organized because organization is key to production. The quicker you can get to that tool, the quicker you can try to fix what you're going to break. And you don't want to break the bank. You're not going to be making a tremendous amount of money working on cars. Although you will be making good money, but you won't be driving home that BMW you're working on. At least I hope not. You'll probably have bigger problems. If you're a young mechanic and you're looking to buy tools, heck, the first place I'd look is that old man down the street. You know who he is. He may be your best friend's grandpa. He may be your mom's handyman, but he has a lot of tools. And nothing's going to get him out of his chair quicker than you asking about them tools. He'll show them to you. Heck, he may even give you some. And the last tip I'll leave you with is whenever you're working with your tools, make sure you work hard, make sure you play hard, and most importantly, make sure you stay dirty and subscribe. You could just call me Eddie.
Yeah, dude. Hey, you got a dirty hand.
Here.
I don't want to get it on my camera.
Sorry. He said, oh, you got a dirty hand.